Hy is 'n naam wat redelik bekend is wat Suid-Afrikaanse radiostasies aanbetref en ek het die voorreg om vanoggend met hom te kan gesels. Omtrent presies 4 maande gelede wat ons met hom gesels het en daar's weer 'n nuwe album op die horison. By my in die ateljee Majozi. Majozi, welcome to die Groot Ontbyt.
Thank you again for having me. Hello mense.
En altyd so oulik om my Afrikaans ook te hoor. So Majozi, I quickly want to find out what would your response to people be stating that it's a bit narcissistic having a self-titled album?
Do you know what? Like, even my PR agent was like, "No, you can't self-title your album," and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna do it, man." Like, I'd really wanted people to, because a lot of people don't really know who Majozi is. They don't know who I am, but they know some of my songs, you know.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to bridge that divide, you know, between the songs and me, and trying to push my brand more, just so that like people recognize my voice more when they hear it on the radio, you know. And then eventually I'll call my albums like The Chronicles of Narnia. I don't know, whatever names come to mind.
It's really an interesting cover page as well of the album. And I mean, that was only now a joke, but you always, being in the industry, you always get those people that don't see the positive in life, and they will always have something to throw back at you. How important is it, according to you, to be vulnerable and to be exposed to your listener or your supporter?
I think that kind of combats those people. You know, if you're vulnerable and very open, people get to know exactly who you are, so they can't come with presumptions. And you know, a lot of people assume who you are, but if you're vulnerable and you're forward with what you think and how you are, and you always are like, I just bear my heart on my sleeve, so people can know exactly who I am. So there's no need for anyone to make an assumption, because everything's
You're an
out
open
there.
book.
Yeah, I'm an open book, exactly.
And that's the best way actually to do it. So some of the interesting themes that you decided to address with this album included superheroes.
Yes,
so who's your favorite superhero?
Sure. Actually, we had this conversation the other night, and I think it's Batman. I'm going to be honest. It's Batman, yeah. I didn't write about him, but I love Batman.
That's definitely a possibility for a new song.
Definitely.
And a new album,
yeah.
Batman.
Christian Bale's my favorite Batman. Just want to say. Just want to say.
Dropping the mic just there. And then other themes that also pop up would include your faith, vulnerability, and insecurity. Is it difficult to write about themes like this?
I don't. In the beginning, it was for me when I was starting out, but now it's like almost therapeutic for me. It's the way I express myself and the way I kind of process things now. Like I need to. Like I can't not do it. You know, sometimes. Sometimes I'll bottle it in, and then like it won't be good for me. And the only way I can get it out is by writing, you know.
Definitely.
And it's a little bit like if there's other people involved, it's a little bit difficult. So I always have to add a little bit of poetic license and add things, some spice here and there, just to make sure other people feel okay. But yeah, it's honestly like my therapy. Yeah.
That's cool. Welcome once again.
I'm back.
Majozi, one of the things that stood out when I met you for the first time and had the honor to actually have an interview with you was the fact that you uplift people, but you weren't ashamed of your faith, and you stood strong in that. Is it difficult sometimes to be the one that remains positive in spite of the negativity going on around you?
No, I don't think so, really, to be honest. I think it's just part of my nature, you know, and it would be difficult to go against it, you know. It would be more difficult to be negative, and it's just what's inside of me, so I enjoy it, you know. And I was saying to someone yesterday, like, obviously there's a lot of negative things going on in the world, but we all have like the chance to change that, you know.
Yes.
Or at least to try, you know. And people are too consumed with what's going on around their worlds without trying to do something, you know. And if we all tried, we would make a difference, I believe, at least.
Yeah. Someone, if they could actually see your body now as well, you have tattoos, each tell a story. The influential role of a mother.
Yes, yeah.
In your music, does it play also a huge part?
I think so. Like, my mom was like she was like a very generous person, and she taught me just how to be selfless and generous and think of other people's before I thought of myself, you know. And yeah, that's just part of who I am now, and without her I don't think I would be like that at all.
What can listeners and also supporters expect from the new album?
Oh, they can expect some groovy songs, some throwbacks to some 80s and 90s sounds. Yeah, that's just with this album, I just wanted people to be able to dance more and just to enjoy it more, I guess, essentially. You know, I really pushed myself creatively. I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do the things I've done before, but still kind of keep the same heart and message behind all the songs. And I just wanted to have fun at the end of the day, and hopefully that comes across in the music.
And one of the things would be that you worked with the Soweto Gospel Choir.
Yes, yeah.
How was that?
That was amazing, man.
Nice experience.
It's like just they're like one of the guys on my bucket list was Soweto Gospel Choir, to work with them. And it was so weird. Like I met them. I watched a show where this a rapper came from America, and they performed with him, and I was like, yes, this choir is amazing, you know. And it was the first time I've actually seen them live. Yeah. And then I did a show with them just by chance the next week. Wow. And I met them, and I was like, yes, I love what you guys did.
One day.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, sure. And you know what it's like in the industry, people say things, you're like, can I work with you? And they're like, yeah, sure, you know. But meanwhile, most people don't mean it. And they actually did mean it. And we got into studio. They were amazing. It was a real honor for me. So thanks to those guys. Thanks to Soweto Gospel Choir. Yeah.
So apart from being nominated for a Sama Music Award, what was one of your most memorable highlights in your career?
Just so many, man. I think just the overall journey for me is like one massive highlight, you know. And when I started my life, before I did music, I never actually thought I would be able to do music. So now, like, everything is just like a bonus for me.
It's a huge highlight in itself.
Yeah, you know, I just enjoy all the moments. Sometimes you forget about it and you're in it, so you don't see it. But sometimes when I pull myself back and look from the outside, I'm like, geez, I'm really, really blessed to be where I am now. Yeah.
So, Majozi, let's quickly find out if the people actually know you that well. So it's just one of those get to know me moments. Yeah. Shoe size?
9, size 9.
Okay. Sweatpants or jeans?
Phew, jeans.
Barefoot or shoes?
Shoes.
The weirdest thing you've ever seen in someone's house? Don't mention the person's name, please.
Some weird man holding like a tray or something. I don't know. It's just weird.
What would be the absolute worst name to give a child?
Bartholomew.
What?
Actually, I like that name. Sorry, I'll take it back. Rathbuten.
Okay, cool. You see someone that you have met before, however, you can't recall their name. What do you do?
Hey, guys.
What's up? And then the first album you would buy right now?
Right now? Sure. That's a very good question.
That's when you say Majozi.
Majozi, yes. I'd buy my own album. It's out now. It's called Majozi. It's everywhere.
Majozi, thanks so much for your time and all the best with the new album.
Thanks, guys.
We're really looking forward to see how it's going, and we're sure it's going to go great. So thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate and respect what you guys do so much. Thank you.